Drug use is a blanket term often used to encompass a multitude of drug behaviors. According to Drugs.ie, drug use may start as experimental and then move into recreational drug use, which is often done on weekends or in the company of friends. Experimental and recreational drug use are not a guaranteed path into drug abuse or addiction. Words like abuse and addiction are sometimes used interchangeably and with no clear definition of either word. The National Institute of Drug Abuse asserts that drug abuse occurs when legal or illegal drugs are being used in an inappropriate manner. There is also a difference in terms physical dependence and tolerance. In addition, physical dependence can happen with any substance and occurs when the body adapts to the exposure of the substance. An individual's body must then adapt to not being exposed to the substance. Tolerance refers to the need to use higher doses of the drug to elicit the same effect it once did. Journalists must be cautious when using terminology regarding drug use, as incorrect use may be misleading in nature. This leads to overgeneralized and misinformed reporting. Bad, inaccurate, or fear-conducive reporting can possibly lead to the public becoming misinformed. Covering or writing stories that glorify or excuse drug use in celebrities, elites, or any racially or otherwise privileged, while condemning it in the oppressed and vulnerable public perpetuates negative stigmas regarding race, class, and drug use. Factual, accurate, and comprehensive reporting informs the public about drug use while avoiding stigmas, hypothetical ideas, and frenzied vocabulary.
John Arundel is the associate publisher of Washington Life magazine. He ran into Hoffman at the Sundance Film Festival a couple of weeks ago. And John, you know, you had, I know, a very poignant interaction with him. Just tell me about that encounter you had with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Met him at Sundance 2 years ago, and he was always ebullient. He was always upbeat. He was always a very likable guy. You could always ask a great question, and he answered it with a funny grin on his face. And we sort of all loved him. And he said, "I'm a heroin addict." And then he took off his cap and looked me straight in the eyes. And I said, "Oh, you're Philip Seymour Hoffman." And he said, "Bingo." And at that point, he sort of trailed off. And as he was walking off, he said, "Well, I just got out of rehab."
Wow. I mean, that's just, it's amazing that he would have said that and identified that you had that moment.
There are steps journalists can take in order to report on drug use in a way that is informative and accurate. According to Maya Schultz, a journalist who is focused on neuroscience and addiction, there are 15 ways a journalist can better report on drug use. A few of these steps include avoiding seeking out police and law enforcement for information regarding drug use, as they are not experts on drug use and often may be misleading, as well as never pinning a drug as instantly addictive or that anyone who tries it becomes an addict. Be well educated on the history of drugs and drug scares. Don't add to the media hype regarding drugs. Perhaps the biggest piece of advice being, think critically. As journalists, it is our job to provide information that is verifiable and accurate. So critical thinking is imperative while collecting information or writing a story regarding drug use. Journalists reporting on drug use must be sure to do their own research regarding drug use and variations in drug behaviors. They must also avoid perpetuating stereotypes regarding drug use and should aim towards reporting only factual, verified, and accurate information. By seeking out experts, verifying information and facts, and avoiding stigmas, journalists will be better equipped to inform the public about drug use.